Why retirees are choosing to move to Mexico. Welcome back to My Latin Life. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been on the minds of many retirees around the world, and especially in Canada and the US, why so many are choosing to move to Mexico. Whether you're looking for a warm climate, affordable living, or the cultural experience and the adventure, Mexico is quickly becoming a top destination for retirees. So let's break down why. So part one is cost of living. One of the biggest reasons retirees are flocking to Mexico is the affordable cost of living. Whether you're living on a pension, social security, or savings, your money can stretch much further in Mexico than it can in many other countries, especially the US, Canada, or Europe. Housing costs are significantly lower. You can rent or even purchase a home for a fraction of the price that you'd pay in the US. For example, in popular retirement destinations like Merida, Lake Chapala, or Puerto Vallarta, you can find beautiful homes for sale, welcoming communities, private communities, for less than half of what you'd pay for similar properties in the USA. Way less than half, I would say. Everyday expenses like groceries, utilities, healthcare, and transportation are also much more affordable. You could comfortably live on $1,500 to $2,000 a month in Mexico, and that includes housing, food, entertainment, and even some travel. This cost-saving aspect is huge for retirees, allowing for a better quality of life without breaking the bank. And for some people, this might be the only way that the numbers even work out. I've met lots of people in Latin America who they're only getting, $1,500, $2,000 a month from Social Security or their pensions back home. And that would be impossible to get by on in the States, literally impossible. But in Latin America, not only can you get by on that, but you can even save money on that. And then on the more luxury end of the spectrum, if you have a little bit more of a budget, $4K a month, maybe $6K a month, what you're able to accomplish with 4, 5, 6K a month in Latin America, in Mexico, compared to in the US or Canada, it's insane. For 5K a month, you can have an absolute mansion. You can have private cooks, private chefs, massages, best-in-class health insurance. You're just overall going to have a much more luxurious lifestyle, so-called living like a king in Mexico for an amount of money where you'd barely be scraping by in the USA. So very alluring to people on fixed income, but also very appealing to middle class, upper middle class people who want to get those luxuries. Part two is access to quality healthcare. So healthcare is another major factor for retirees. Obviously, Mexico offers high quality healthcare at a fraction of the cost retirees are used to paying. Cities like Guadalajara, Mexico City, and Merida have excellent hospitals and clinics, many of which are internationally accredited. The doctors are well trained, often fluent in English, and offer personalized care without the long wait times common in the US. Prescription drugs and prescriptions in general are also much cheaper, and many expats find that they can afford private health insurance that covers them for a wide range of medical services. And then for those who don't want private insurance, Mexico's public healthcare system is also available. Retirees can buy into the system at a low cost and still receive excellent care. If you're from the southern United States, you might know a lot of people in, say, Texas that actually go to Mexico for their healthcare, whether that be for to visit the dentist and get a cleaning, or it's to get prescriptions at a fraction of the price. Literally, there's so many cases where a prescription that's $200 a month in the US, you go to Mexico, it's $5-10 a month. It's pretty insane, the price gouging in the US. And then something like the dentist, I mean, I made a dedicated video on this as well. But, you go to the dentist in the US, you're still paying $200 even after insurance paid for 80% of it. You go to Mexico, 40, $50 out of pocket. You don't have to deal with insurance. And it's just overall a much better experience. Another aspect of healthcare beyond just the cost and the quality is the warmness and the convenience. So you can organize your appointments on WhatsApp. You just send a message. You essentially just send a text message. You say, hey, what's the nearest time you got? They say, oh, we got 2 p.m., we got 3 p.m. You say, cool, book me for 2 p.m. My name's George. My name's Vance. And then bada bing, bada boom. Whereas in the US, they don't answer texts. They barely answer, the receptionist barely answers the phone. The next meeting or the next available appointments like a month or two in advance. The whole experience of booking appointments in the US sucks compared to Mexico, where in Mexico it's just so much more convenient. So pillar three here is the residency process I thought we'd talk about. So Mexico has made it relatively easy for retirees to establish residency in Mexico. The most popular option is the temporary resident visa. I've done dedicated videos on how to get residency in Mexico. And this temporary residency allows you to live in Mexico for usually up to 4 years, after which you can apply for permanent residency in Mexico. So 4 years on the temporary, and then you renew to permanent. And permanent is for life. It never expires. Very valuable thing to have. So even if you choose to maybe move back to the US or life goes a different direction, you'll still have that permanent residency in Mexico waiting for you. So how do we get this residency? Well, to qualify for the temporary resident visa, you'll need to prove financial solvency, either through monthly income or through savings. The requirements aren't particularly steep, and they vary depending on where you apply from, in your home country or within Mexico. Consulates in the US and in Canada often have slightly different requirements, but you're looking at usually around 4K a month of income, or I think it's somewhere around 100K of savings in total. Okay, and you don't have to invest that. You simply just have to show that you have independent means. So all you basically got to do is print out some bank statements. It's pretty easy. And then number 4 is the beautiful climate and landscapes. The climate's huge. I mean, I come from Canada in the northeastern United States, grew up playing hockey and 6 months of winter and all that. And I do like some aspects of winter, but honestly, overall, at least being a snowbird or spending at least those 6 months somewhere warm is just huge in terms of your lifestyle, vitamin D, your skin looks healthier, you feel happier. It's depressing being somewhere that the sun sets at 4:30 p.m. and it's cold. So with Mexico, the climate and the diverse geographies are major attractions. So whether you love beaches or mountains or colonial cities, Mexico has something for everyone. For beach lovers, places like Puerto Vallarta, Playa del Carmen, Puerto Morelos offer warm tropical climates year-round. The Pacific Coast and the Caribbean both have stunning beaches where you can swim, fish, lounge in the sun. Very different sort of experiences being on the Pacific Coast of Mexico versus being on the Gulf or the Caribbean in Mexico. So you might want to determine what you prefer. So if you prefer cooler temperatures, you can also check out places like San Miguel de Allende or Oaxaca or in the state of Veracruz or Mexico City. So these highland cities with a high elevation offer a more temperate climate with warm days and cool nights. And, it's beautiful during the day. It's easier to sleep at night because it drops down into the 60s and 70s. So I think the mountain towns are something that you should, and mountain cities, something that you shouldn't forget about. You don't have to live on the beach. You can live in the mountains and have really perfect moderate weather, and it's great. So Mexico offers just an absolute wealth of natural beauty, from deserts to jungles to ancient ruins and waterfalls. So for retirees who love to explore, Mexico is a never-ending adventure. And then number 5 is the culture and the community. So culturally, Mexico is very vibrant and welcoming, very welcoming of retirees. So whether it's the colorful festivals, the traditional music, the food, obviously, there's always something to experience. Retirees often find it easy to integrate into the local community, either by learning Spanish or joining local expat groups or participating in cultural events. I think most retirees tell me that when they move to Mexico, their social life 10x's. Because, when you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s in the USA, friend groups are pretty well established. It's hard to get people out of the house. People are, cooped up watching Netflix and bringing their kids to appointments and stuff like that. But when you go to Mexico, you're surrounded by expats, other retirees. It almost feels like you're back in college, where it feels like you're on a college campus. Everyone, you see people in the street, you're like, hey, yeah, what's up? And there's dinners every night. And since dinner's really cheap, people just go for dinner every single night, and you can totally do that. Whereas I think in the States, people say no to dinner invitations just because they don't want to drop $100. But whatever it is, your social life in Mexico is going to go up. I can almost guarantee that. Even if you don't know anybody there yet, you're going to figure it out. It's going to be more social, and you're going to start feeling more alive. Mexico is a very warm and inviting place. And in many cities and towns with large expat communities, you'll find plenty of fellow retirees who have already made the move. This makes the transition smoother and helps build friendships quickly. Cool. So number 6 is proximity to the USA. One of the practical advantages of retiring in Mexico is its proximity to the USA. For those with family and friends in the US, Mexico offers easy access with very short flights back home or to visit loved ones, direct flights as well, which is huge. So many retirees choose places near the US border like Baja California or San Miguel de Allende if they want to drive. For this very reason, they'll bring their car down to Mexico for the winter, or really anywhere in Mexico is accessible by direct flights. And I think if you, looked at your local airport, dear viewer, listener, you'd be surprised at how many direct flights to Mexico you have. You probably have Mexico City, Cancun, and then depending on where you're at, you might have Guadalajara, Cabo, Tijuana. So many different options. I mean, Mexico's huge. So building upon that with the proximity to the USA, the availability of modern amenities like high-speed internet, international airports, reliable infrastructure, Walmart, Sam's Club, Amazon, right? All these things make it easy for retirees to stay connected to their loved ones, have those conveniences, and maintain a high standard of living without feeling too far away from home. So as you can see, there are many reasons why retirees are choosing to move to Mexico. The affordable living, the excellent health care, a welcoming community, and beautiful weather are just a few of the draws. The food too, by the way. Food's amazing. So whether you're seeking a quiet life in a colonial town, a beachfront paradise, or something in between, Mexico has something to offer for every retiree. Everything from 20 million person megacities to moderate-sized 1 to 4 million person cities to quiet small mountain towns with, 10,000, 100,000 people to beach cities of all sizes. There's really something for everyone in Mexico. It's amazing like that. So anyway, thank you for watching. And if you're considering retiring abroad, let me know in the comments, where would you want to retire? Where are you looking at? What do you got your eyes on? And don't forget to subscribe for more content on living and retiring abroad in Mexico and elsewhere in Latin America. That's what we do here at My Latin Life. And if you want to get started right away, you want to make progress on your relocation or internationalization plan, you can book a call with us. There'll be a link in the description of this video where you can book a call directly with us, and we can start making progress with you right away. See you next time.